Blake, I told you, girl, the call is coming from inside the fucking house. Pick up. Ryan Reynolds is saying he doesn't need to be here. He didn't ask for this. He doesn't have shit to do with it. Then being a supportive spouse who has witnessed firsthand the emotional, reputational, and financial devastation Miss Lively has suffered. So y'all are broke. If y'all are broke, just say that. Just say you can't pay these lawyers. I know it ain't cheap. Paying lawyer fees for 3 months. You truly believe you don't have nothing to do with this? Your lawyer should have dismissed you from this case from get-go. But no, you all thought you were gonna get away with all the crap. Now that it's not looking good for you, you want a little separation. That's your wife. You're gonna stick beside her. That's the bone of your bone, the rib of your rib. That's yours forever.
Y'all, it doesn't look like this situation with Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni is going to end in anything other than chaos. Just when we think we've heard the last of it, more drama pops up, making things even more chaotic than we thought possible. Ryan Reynolds has been very vocal about supporting his wife, standing firmly by her side because he truly believes she's in the right. He has praised her for standing up for herself in the face of trouble, making him seem like the perfect husband. However, it looks like we might have been wrong about that. Word on the street is that a new video is circulating, allegedly proving that Blake pressured Ryan into publicly supporting her. She reportedly believed it would help her public image as Justin Baldoni continues to expose her.
He said that we should get those by the end of next week. And now, of course, from Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, we heard a little bit about their plan, too. He talked about how they want this case moving forward as quickly.
Ryan is one of the biggest actors in Hollywood, and everyone loves him. It seems like Blake was banking on using some of that admiration to sway public opinion in her favor. However, it looks like the negativity has become too much for Ryan to bear because he just filed a motion to remove himself from the lawsuit. And get this, he's not trying to have the case thrown out. He's simply trying to get himself removed from it. It seems like he's had enough of Blake forcing his hand. So, does this mean that Justin Baldoni was innocent the whole time? And has Ryan been covering for Blake? Let's break it down.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds stepped out for the first time since all the drama to the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary. At the end of the day, this is all for PR.
A film with an absolute idiot of a co-star, and this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out, and I think I was so vulnerable and uncomfortable.
Okay.
Is Ryan Reynolds
Mean. Like he's Canadian.
Look, you punch a couple hundred orphans and suddenly you're mean.
Like I said, Ryan has been solidly on Blake's side throughout this entire case. So imagine how shocked we were to find out that he wants out. And not only does he want out, but he wants out. So much so that he filed a motion with the court to remove himself from the case, claiming it has nothing to do with him and that Justin should have never named him in the first place. For some context, Ryan got involved in the case when he took shots at Justin in the movie Deadpool and
used his power and influence to not only help Blake Lively take over this movie, he's used it, on Deadpool to make fun of Justin Baldoni.
Oh, I'm Deadpool. And I guess you're Deadpool too. But in here, everybody calls me Nice Pool. Oh my goodness, wait till you see Lady Pool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too and can't even tell. I don't think you're supposed to say that. That's okay. I identify as a feminist.
Justin claimed that Nicepool, introduced in Deadpool vs. Wolverine, was meant to mock him. He then dragged Marvel, Disney, and Ryan Reynolds into the lawsuit. According to reports, Justin's lawyer, Brian Friedman, sent a legal letter to Marvel, boss Kevin Feige, and Disney CEO Bob Iger, accusing Reynolds of taking direct shots at Justin. In the scene where Reynolds plays the Deadpool variant Nicepool, he says, "Where in God's name is the intimacy coordinator?" He also praises Lady Deadpool for bouncing back after a baby, remarking, "Feminism!" Baldoni believes this was a jab at him for calling himself a feminist during It Ends With Us promotions. Friedman's letter demands Disney and Marvel preserve all documents related to mocking, harassing, or intimidating Baldoni through the Nicepool character. It also hints at legal claims, such as interference with contracts and civil extortion. However, in his court filing, Ryan didn't deny taking shots at Justin, but dismissed Baldoni's outrage as baseless. An insider stated that Baldoni's legal team now plans to investigate Deadpool's funding, along with those aware of this alleged bullying during filming. Since Reynolds hasn't disputed that Nicepool was based on Baldoni, it opens the door for Baldoni's lawyers to argue he was targeted. By admitting it, Ryan has dragged Hugh Jackman, the film's directors, and even Disney into the controversy. Ryan is now trying to get that thrown out. In his recent legal request, he described himself as a supportive spouse who saw Blake suffer. An insider added that Ryan accused Baldoni of shaming him for standing by his wife. Oh, and y'all remember Ryan's claims about Justin being a predator? His legal team is doubling down, arguing it's not defamation since Ryan genuinely believes. In a court document stated, the first amended complaint alleges no plausible facts suggesting Mr. Reynolds did not believe this comment to be true. Instead, the allegations suggest he genuinely believes Mr. Baldoni's behavior is predatory. Ryan's lawyers argue that because calling Justin a predator wasn't an intentional lie, the lawsuit has no merit. However, Justin's lawyer fired back, calling Ryan's motion BS. He stated, Mr. Reynolds' exploitation of his enormous power in Hollywood continues, this time arrogantly asking to be dismissed despite his deep involvement. His fingerprints have been all over this smear campaign since day one. Now, he tries to reduce legitimate claims to hurt feelings. After lighting the match, Reynolds now seeks to run from the flames. It won't work. Meanwhile, fans are calling BS on Ryan's motion, and rumors suggest Blake pressured him into it, believing her husband's support would help her. I mean, y'all remember her text to Justin where she compared herself to Khaleesi from Game of Thrones? She wrote, "If you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi. And like her, I happen to have a few dragons, for better or worse, but usually for better. My dragons protect those I fight for. You will too, I promise."
Baldoni's lawsuit won't hold up in court. He says him referring to Baldoni as a predator is constitutionally protected opinion. Blake's husband also rips Baldoni's lawsuit as essentially a burned book and claims Justin is trying to shame him for sticking up for his wife. Ryan, I'm still waiting for you to show us one single text message between you and Blake within the time of production that shows her distress, her discomfort, her pain, her suffering, anything. You're telling me your wife was being SH'd at work and you guys did not talk about it in text, in email one time? And I don't want to hear he was on set. He was on set a few times. There were multiple days of production where he was filming Deadpool and she was on set with Justin. You knew this whole time. You've been paying lawyer fees for...
Word on the street is that not even Blake's husband is safe from her bullying. She allegedly forces him to do what she wants, like getting involved in her legal drama to boost her image. This isn't the first time Blake has been accused of being a bully. Reports claim she treated a former assistant so badly during a simple favor that they quit. Assistant director Barbara Seaman added her own behind-the-scenes tea when a Simple Favor star Henry Golding posted about the sequel. Barbara commented, revealing she quit the first film because of Blake, writing, "My experience with everyone was amazing, except for a certain someone who is the reason I quit being an AD. Guess who?" She later deleted the post, but nothing is ever truly erased from the internet. After receiving support, she added, "She was cruel to many. I cried my way home many nights trying to please someone who was never satisfied and constantly put me down. Karma is real. Barbara isn't alone. Multiple crew members have shared similar experiences." A Gossip Girl crew member claimed, "Unfortunately, my experience with Blake was not good. She came across as a bully. Leighton Meester was always available for fans, but Blake didn't have time. She spoke to the crew like toddlers. If things didn't go her way, she'd make a scene, acting disrespectful and rude. I saw her treating people poorly. It wasn't a good vibe." They clarified that this had nothing to do with Justin Baldoni, as it happened in 2010. The fact that multiple people from different projects have reported similar experiences speaks volumes. Baldoni's team also claims to have receipts proving Blake's history of bullying. They stated, "We are releasing all the evidence showing a pattern of bullying and threats to take over the movie. None of this is surprising. Consistent with her past behavior, Blake used others to communicate threats and manipulate her way to get what she wanted. We have all the receipts and more."
Leave, you don't have nothing to do with it. Your lawyer should have dismissed you from this case from get-go. But no, you all thought you were gonna get away with all the crap. Now that it's not looking good for you, you want a little separation. That's your wife. You're gonna stick beside her. That's the bone of your bone, the rib of your rib. That's yours forever and ever. You're going down together. That should be a song. I just want to see the one text message. She texted you saying, Ryan, today's hard for me. Justin came in my trailer and he looked at me, what did I say, with his head full of hair. And yeah, and then I invited him on the jet with us and with me and the kids because I was so scared of him. Show me one text message and I'm Team Blake. But you don't got it. See you in 2026.
In 2026, the streets are now saying that Blake's bullying is the reason Ryan even got involved in this mess in the first place. Oh, and remember that SNL joke?
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds. Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
At first, Ryan tried to claim that the joke was scripted by SNL, but it seems the producers of SNL learned from Disney's involvement in the lawsuit. They quickly distanced themselves from the joke once the show ended. Longtime cue card handler Wally Forreston, better known as Cue Card Wally, appeared on the Australian radio show Fifi, Fev, and Nick to break down behind-the-scenes moments from the night. Naturally, one of the hosts asked him the burning question everyone wanted answered. Was Ryan Reynolds' joke planned, or was it truly an off-the-cuff moment? Wally didn't leave much room for speculation. His response made it clear that the joke was locked in ahead of time, meaning Ryan knew exactly what he was doing. And let's be honest, it only makes the situation worse.
Lively, been in the news a lot, and Ryan Reynolds, we want to know, was that an improv or was it scripted, his little piece he did?
That was actually, he had a different line in rehearsal and he pitched that to replace it. So that was his idea to do it. We wouldn't want to do anything too controversial unless they were in on it. So yeah, that was his line. That was his idea to do.
By this point, fans weren't surprised by Ryan's actions. They were shocked by how desperate he and Blake seemed for a PR reset, willing to do anything to win back public favor, even if it meant throwing someone under the bus. Naturally, Ryan's team wasn't about to let Wally's comments go unchecked. They quickly jumped into damage control, claiming the opening joke was pitched by SNL and never changed, while the follow-up was rewritten during rehearsal. A rep for NBC backed Ryan up, saying the claim was false, while a source close to SNL clarified that Wally wasn't involved in the writing or decision process. Justin's lawyer also expressed shock that Ryan would joke about something he claimed was so traumatic for his wife.
Seemed like that might be the latest move.
What did you think when you saw, Ryan, make light of the situation? I guess try to find some humor in all this.
I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation. I can't think of anyone who's done anything like that, and
Reputation. Disney has a long history of maintaining a polished image, and if they think an actor's behavior jeopardizes that, they won't hesitate to cut ties, no matter how big the star. Ryan's massive paycheck for Deadpool vs. Wolverine, $30 million, is not only a reflection of his box office draw, but also a potential headache for the studio. When his salary was paired with the ongoing controversy surrounding his actions, it raised eyebrows behind the scenes. Although Ryan's popularity and Deadpool's success make him indispensable to the franchise, the scandal could be a tipping point. If Disney feels that the PR fallout could hurt the brand or the bottom line, they may decide to part ways, as they have done with other celebrities in the past. It's a tricky situation for Ryan, especially when rumors of him being fired started circulating. While some are skeptical about the news, it's clear that his involvement in the mess, both financially and publicly, has put him under serious scrutiny. It's anyone's guess how this will play out. But one thing's for sure. If Ryan is facing consequences from Disney, it could be a game changer for both his career and Deadpool's future. What do you think? Will Ryan be able to recover from this, or is his time with Disney and Deadpool up worse? Disney has a history of cutting ties with high-profile figures when their actions risk the company's reputation. With the ongoing public backlash and legal battles, it seems Justin made a strategic decision to step away and distance himself. from the mess. It'll be interesting to see if this whole situation continues to spiral or if the people involved can manage to salvage their careers. What do you think will happen next? Even worse, it's not clear if it's the "it seems like this." Drama is only escalating, and it's getting messier by the day. Justin's legal team is definitely not backing down, and their stance on holding Blake accountable makes it clear they're prepared for a long fight. With Ryan Reynolds caught in the middle and his own actions under scrutiny, the situation looks like it might have some major consequences for everyone involved, both professionally and publicly. As for the public, it's really hard to say how they'll react. Will they continue to support Ryan and Blake despite everything? Or is this the beginning of a significant public downfall? It seems like the drama will only get deeper. What do you think? Will they be able to come out of this unscathed?
called at everything and was never going to let us do anything. But that's on one hand. On the other hand, money. They had a lot of faith in us to deliver and to self-govern. So yes, there's jokes in there that I personally cannot believe they let us.
And in fairness, because we were like the kind of good boy students turning in our script every once in a while, and every time we send a script, we were like kind of waiting, and the pushback never came, and it became clear that on this movie, funny wins.
Really, there was one joke, one line that they asked me to take out.
When I was on set, I was like, there's no way that's going to be it.
Yeah. I have a joke about Hugh that I couldn't believe he let me say.